Quote. In order to succeed, your desire for success should be greater than your fear of failure. Don't let the sadness of your past and the fear of your future ruin the happiness of your present. Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue to count. End quote.
Game over.
Every breath that I'm taking, I can feel that they hating. They've been patiently waiting, but I know I can make it through the pain and the lies. Just look me in my eyes. This is not a disguise, but together we rise. I do this for the fans, family and my friends. You gotta look within, believe and know that you can win. So be proud of yourself, cause I'm proud of me. Let your light shine bright so the world can see. A wise man once told me, every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future.
Hey everybody, it's your master motivator, Tony Miller Sr., and I'm here to talk to you from another episode of TMI Presents for Your Inspiration. And we've got to get right into it today because this is a powerful message that is going to help somebody out there. Because I've recognized and I've heard your comments, I've seen your emails, that so many of you are struggling through what life has dished you. You're struggling through your everyday journey in life, and it seems like you're going up against all the odds. That's right, all the odds are stacked up against you. You may be a single mother raising your children by yourself, or you may be a person on your job that the company has turned their back on, or you may even be an athlete that the coach is not putting into the game and they're not even giving you a legitimate chance to play. But today you've got to catch this message and heed to this message, because you can win against all odds. But the key to winning against all odds is never giving up. That's right, so many of us give up as soon as the first obstacle comes our way, as soon as the first barrier is put our way, as soon as the first time we're being told no. You've got to win against all odds. In order to win against all odds, you've got to keep going. So don't quit. But I got 3 quick things that I want to talk to you about so that it can help you gain advantage over winning against the odds. The first thing is you've got to have an expectation of winning. If you go through your life in anything that you face, if you don't have an expectation of winning whatever you're up against, you're already setting yourself up for defeat. You've got to have an expectation that whatever is placed in front of you, that you're going to conquer it. Yes, it may be hard. Yes, it may seem like it's impossible, but you have to have an expectation that you're going to rise up above it so that you can get to your better. That's what we're all trying to get to. We're trying to get to our better. And in order to do that, we've got to have an expectation of winning. Winning even when people say we won't win. But after you have that expectation of winning, then you've got to have an execution of winning. That's right, you've got to have a game plan. And you've got to follow the rules along the way. You can't break the rules to win. You've got to have an execution of winning. And when you execute to win, that means you're going to do it harder than anybody else. You're going to work as hard. You're going to go through. You're going to put in the work. I can remember back when my first college I went to, it was a military college, and I sat in the office as I was getting ready to quit the college. I wanted to get off the campus. I was trying my best to hurry up and leave and quit that college. But one of the deans there, he was a major in the Army, and he told me, he said, Miller, if you leave this school, in 3 months you're going to be a drug addict. In 6 months you're going to be in jail, and you're going to amount to nothing. And what that did for me, it helped me find a motivational or an inspirational point that kept me going. So when journeys got hard, I kept going. I was able to execute my plan because I had something inside of me, a desire, a motivational tool that kept me going. So that's what you got to find. You got to find your motivational tool that is going to help you even when you feel like giving up. It's going to push you even when you feel like you cannot win. It is going to push you so that you can continue on this journey, because you can win against odds. So you've got to have expectation, but then you've got to have execution of winning, but then finally, you've got to be an example of winning. That's right. So the journeys that you're going through right now is just there so somebody else can read and hear about your story. You should be excited about that, because the struggles that you're going through, the trouble that you're going through, all the trials trials and tribulations that you're going through are actually there, not for you, but they're there for the person that is watching you. That's right, people are watching you as you struggle, and they're trying to find out how you're going to get out of this. Maybe somebody that hadn't even been born yet, a story you can tell 20 years from now, how you made it against the odds. So it's important that you take heed today. You've got to have an expectation of winning. You've got to have execution of winning so that you can be an example of winning. And if you are an example of winning, you're going to be able to help so many people get through just like you got through, because you were successful against the odds. That's what, listen, a real quick story so we can get out of here. If you ever notice that when you talk about salmon swim upstream. They swim against the grain. In other words, they're going opposite way of the flow. And sometimes when you're going against the opposite way of the flow, everything seems to be against you. Doesn't mean that you're wrong. Doesn't mean that you're not on the right spot. It just means that everything is going a different direction. And when you're trying to raise your level, oh, you got to catch this. When you're trying to raise your level, you're going to have to go against the flow of all the people that's in your life. And sometimes those very people are going to have to recognize that you're on the battlefield and recognize that you are now putting in work that you've never put in before, because you're trying to raise a standard. You're trying to get to a level that you've never been to before. So everybody, catch hold of this today, because you can win against the odds. It's your master motivator, Tony Miller Sr., and you can never get too much inspiration.